Hey everyone, I want to welcome you, George. Thank you so much for joining us today on Tales from the Trails. If you don't mind introducing yourself and tell us about what company you work for and what your role is in that company.
Sure. Hi, Kat. Hi, everyone. Thank you very much for having me here today. Yes, I'm George Burton. I'm the founder of Proco. We are a new ESG-focused sales intelligence app for Salesforce.
So for our listeners who might not know what ESG is, do you mind giving us a little bit more insight on what it is?
Yeah, sure. I'm sure your audience will have heard references to ESG increasingly over recent months. And really, ESG stands for environmental, social, and governance. And really, it's a way of thinking about a business's risks and opportunities relating to those three areas. These include the inputs to the business, so where the company gets its resources, where in the world it's operating, the suppliers that it works with, through to the outputs of the business. So what happens with the product or solution that they provide? What's the impacts to the environment and society of that company operating and doing business? So I guess an example would be a company with high ESG risk would be a company that has a high proportion of greenhouse gas emissions resulting from its operations and the way it produces its products or services. And conversely, a company with a low ESG risk would be a company that uses a lot of renewable energy, that uses the water in the local area where it's based responsibly. And yeah, those are some examples to hopefully help your audience think about it.
Awesome. Okay, so you have this amazing product on the Salesforce AppExchange called Proco, which is the sales intelligent app. Can you dive a little bit deeper about your product?
Sure, absolutely. So what we do, we aggregate environmental, social, and governance or ESG data on companies from multiple sources. We then aggregate that and then we deliver that to our users. Our first product is an app for Sales Cloud. And the idea is that we give our salespeople, who are our customers, extra insight on their customers and in particular what their needs are based on this data.
Awesome. Okay, so you mentioned that your first users are sales people. That helps with lead generation. What does that even mean to be a sales rep in this industry? Can you let us know about that?
Yeah, sure. ESG is quite a broad church, for want of a better word. I'm sure your audience have possibly heard more references to it in the news, in the media, across LinkedIn, progressively in recent months and years. And I think that's testament to increasing interest in the area. And that's driven largely by regulators and investors encouraging companies to improve their ESG performance. And so what that means for a salesperson is that they can take advantage of this information to better understand even more about their customers and in particular customers' needs. So one example of a company we're currently in talks with is an energy company, and they are looking to use Proco to find customers that have made net zero commitments, and they want to use our tool to find how those companies are performing and whether they can sell their renewably generated electricity to those customers to help them achieve their goals. So in short, ESG, as I say, is a pretty broad church. It appeals to lots of salespeople in lots of different industries, and that's why we find it so exciting.
Yeah, that's great. So how does Proco's solution align with businesses in the hospitality industry?
Yeah, I guess similar to the previous question, in theory, ESG appeals to basically most businesses. A use case in the hospitality industry would be, let's take a Hilton or a Four Seasons, one of these massive global international hotel chains. Because these companies are so large, they tend to have investors and a greater deal of scrutiny compared to smaller companies. And what that means is that they are feeling the pressure to improve their ESG performance today. And so any vendor looking to transact with those business would find it beneficial to position their solutions in a way that reduces their customers' ESG risk. So let's take Four Seasons, for example. Let's say their investors are pressurizing them to improve their waste management, so less stuff to landfill, more recycling, more reusing of materials. A salesperson working at a relevant company selling recycling services, for example, could take advantage of this ESG data by saying, hey, look, we realized you're currently struggling in this aspect of your business, and in particular in relation to your competitors. Let's try and help you with that, and let's help you become more competitive in this aspect of your business.